going to come back. You know, you made some predictions before, but I want to know whether you've changed or whether you're going to just stand on the former predictions you made before. But let's look at other fixtures. Tomorrow, the quarterfinals will continue. You have Algeria playing against Ghana, and then South Africa will continue their title defense against Senegal tomorrow. That's for the quarterfinals, and then we'll be having our 4 teams that will merge semi-finalists in the tournament. We are going to look at the semi-finals dates, maybe in our subsequent editions. But let's do the prediction before we give the African predictions. Let's start with Nigeria, Zambia. You know, you made the prediction the other time that Nigeria might be, okay, it's going to be a 2-0 match.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, 2-0, but I think it's 1-0, 2-0.
So,
I don't think because everybody is not attacking, so
Yeah.
the defense line is going to be will not be guarded like that.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I'm seeing like a 2-0, 3-0. If the match is really tight, maybe a 1-0 or maybe an extra time. But I think if I'm to go for one, I will stick to a 1-0.
a 1-0.
Yes,
For
1-0.
Nigeria?
For Nigeria now.
Okay. Now you have the second game coming up today, Morocco, Mali. What's your prediction? I know you predicted Morocco to win the other time. So did you change?
Like I said, it's going to be a very tough game. All right, and I see like there'll be both teams are going to score. That's the way I see it, and I'm seeing a 2-1, but I don't know to what side that is going to win right now. So should I? I don't know. I predicted Morocco the last time, right? So let me stick to Morocco.
All right. You know, this prediction is for the benefit of the punters, the bookers. So if you really want to invest your money, just make sure that you listen very carefully. Happiness is actually talking very bold as the wonderful predictor. So she is the octopus. She's the Aneke octopus. So Aneke said Nigeria will be winning Zambia today. For Morocco and Mali, no winning side, but both teams will be scoring each other.
Yes,
I think that's the prediction. Okay.
Yes.
Now we'll go tomorrow. For tomorrow, Algeria, Ghana. Algeria, Ghana. What do you think?
Algeria has also been a very wonderful side as well.
Yeah.
I am saying them. Ghana too are really good, but because they really did so well
Yeah.
in their team, it's just that they were unlucky
Yeah.
and they had so many. They considered a lot of goals. So I'm hoping that they actually find all the lapses they had in the previous matches and then come forward this time around and take their chances and convert them as well. So I'm saying I know I predicted Algeria the last time.
Yes.
I'm sitting towards Ghana this time around. I don't know why because they are our neighboring country and I just want to vote for them.
All right. Ghana will be winning Algeria tomorrow. Another big predictions. Remember, bookers, write them down.
But
And,
Algeria are the better team, but I just want to vote for Ghana this time around.
What's your honest advice to bookers?
Algeria
They should leave. They should leave that game. Are they going to leave the game? What's your honest advice?
You know, when it comes to games like this,
Yes.
you can't. When it comes to club football, I don't really advise people to place bets on that.
Yeah.
The reason because one day they can play so well, the next day they will disappoint. We've seen it times and times again. England losing, Netherlands losing, Spain losing, and in all of these, you can't really say, okay, this particular club will win, especially when it comes to a competition where there's 1 million players. So everybody is actually wanting to get the golden prize. So I don't really want to advise anyone to go, but if you want to look for a game today or tomorrow,
Okay, then tomorrow game, the quarterfinal game, South Africa and Senegal. South Africa, they are the defending champions, and we saw how they finished on top of, their group C. They actually trashed Mali. 4-0 was the result, to be in this quarterfinal. So we've seen them scoring so well in this tournament, and they are actually showing they are defending champions. Now they are.
I think that it's going to be a straight win for South Africa. There's no doubt about that. South Africa is going to advance to the semi-finals. They will trash. Who are they playing again?
They're playing Senegal.
Yeah, they'll trash Senegal tomorrow. So I see that it's going to be for South Africa.
All right. From the African Women's Nations Cup, we go to WAFB on the 20 tourney that
place in Ghana, and Nigeria will be in action against Benin Republic on Sunday in the semi-finals. We saw how they managed to be in the semi-finals. In fact, their game was something else. Reaching that semi-finals, Nigeria actually finished leader in Group A to be in the semi-finals. And then for other semi-finalists, Ivory Coast will also be playing against Ghana in the other semi-finals. And remember, the Flying Eagles, this match is just to prepare them for the Under-20 World Cup that will be coming up in Chile. So I know in Africa, the Flying Eagles, they are also the most successful team. If you look at the whole prediction, they will face Niger Republic in the semi-finals. That's on Sunday. And from there, another semi-final will be Ivory Coast against Ghana. I'm looking at Nigeria Flying Eagles playing Ivory Coast in the finals.
So why do you think so?
For Ghana, Ghana is the host of this particular tournament. And I'm just praying, you know what host does. They will have to bring their 12th man. The whole Ghana will finish in that stadium. And they will shout you down.
That's true.
You can, just like in MPFL, I will not forget in the Jiffy, the match between Rangers and Enyimba, their last season, where we had almost 25,000 spectators in the stadium. Most people from Enugu, all rooting for Enugu Rangers. It was so bad.
Yes.
89th minute was when the victory came, and it ended 1-0. So I think the spectators, they have a role to play in winning the match.
Every home game, or rather every match, and there's playing in any home game. Look at it. Yeah. Most times there's always a home advantage, right? So the fans is supposed to give the players motivation to actually win the game. So whenever they lose, whenever a club or a country loses in their home, it's quite devastating. Do you understand?
Very.
So, like you mentioned, in the Enugu Rangers versus Enyimba last year, I didn't watch the match, unfortunately, but I had some engagement that particular day. But as I was coming towards the stadium, the whole place was packed. Like, you couldn't even find where to wiggle around. Like, the place was packed to its capacity. And the match was really a victory, and it even cost a fight, sir, because they didn't even, because Enyimba didn't see it coming. Do you understand? They thought that since they are the bigger guys, they can actually win. So when it comes to things like this, the home is always having an advantage.
All right, we'll take a breather now, and when we'll come back, we'll be looking at the ITTF competition, where our men and women, they reclaim their place in the 2025 ITTF West Africa Regional Championship. All right, welcome back to the show. Aneke Sports, reaching you live from Aneke TV here in Coast City, Enugu State. We'll be looking at the ITTF, where our men and women, they reclaim their ground in the ongoing 2025 ITTF West Africa Regional Championship. And for Nigeria, our men, in fact, these guys were prolific yesterday, reclaiming their place in the ITTF. This championship also serves as a qualifier for the 2025 African Championship that is set for later this year in Kigali, Rwanda. I'm not expectant of this particular, because yours sincerely will also be there. I've been talking about going to Rwanda to see this game. I love table tennis a lot. Just a few weeks ago, here in Enugu, sports writers organized an inter-secondary school table tennis game, and in fact, we were marveled at the talent were able to harness. You know, seeing this young man from Command Secondary School winning the title, you know, it was something else. So, which means that in no distant time, Enugu will be producing the likes of Atanda Musa, the likes of Aruna Kadiri or Snike. Because when you organize these games, you see young talents coming up. It's not only football. That's why I love table tennis. It's a spectacular game.
Yes.
You know, it's a game of strength and game of brain. You know, you have to kind of bringing your brain, you know, together to also read the game. Your mind, your body, everything will be in a very strong, high concentration for you to win the game. So that's why I'm so happy with the report I got this morning.
Oh, yes.
That our guys, they've done us proud. And after losing the title to Togo in 2024, they came back this time around. Though the competition is happening in Lagos, you know, in Nigeria, but whether it's in Nigeria or anywhere, they've reclaimed their title.
That's just what it is. That's just what it is. And then kudos to Machikuti, kudos to the other guys as well that is on the team. And they won the game like 3-1.
Yeah.
Yes, 3-1. That was actually a fabulous victory. And then also the women, they had like a flawless victory as well.
Yeah.
They won, like nobody beat them. They won the game, and then they still proving themselves that they are like the champions.
Sure.
And it's really a good one.
Right, we can't forget Matthew Kuti, Taiwo Mati, and Abdul Basit, Abdul Fatai. They delivered strong performances for the men's category, beating Ivory Coast 3-0 in the finals. That's for the mixed event. And then in the singles competition that will be resuming later today with high-stakes matches expected across board. Defending men's champion Oba Kizito of Ivory Coast will face tough competition from Nigeria, Taiwo Mati and Matthew Kuti. That's for today's singles.
Yeah.
And then players from Togo and Benin Republic are also expected to contend for medals in the singles category that will be taking place today. Guinea's Maret Kamara impressed, topping Group 9 with a 3-0 win over Ghana James Mafo. And then for Nigeria, only singles loss came as Matthew Fabumi narrowly fell 3-2 to Benin Republic's Atanda Ado in Group 11. You know, when I saw this Atanda, I said, is this another replica of our own Atanda that are taking place in Mali? But all the same, I think Nigeria will done so well, you know, in table tennis. My happiness is that we are not hearing the usual name Maruna Kadri. We are not hearing the usual name of, you know, Moshonaike. These are new names. Matthew Kuti, then Mati, Taiwo Mati, and Abdul Satai. All these guys are new names that we are churning up. And I just believe they are going to make us proud. You know, after this, they will qualify for Rwanda, and they will continue growing. I don't know. You know, when I talk about this just coming to it wasn't part of the program, but it just came into my head. Basketball, our women basketball. This morning, I just heard one story, you know, about they are supposed to be in Ivory Coast before 25th, when the Afro basket will continue. But I heard that there is no logistics for these guys to be there.
Exactly.
No funds.
I saw it this morning as well, that they didn't release funds for the female basketball, and it's really absurd.
Yeah.
Because football is one thing that the country is supposed to invest in, right? And then I don't really know why they focus more on the men's football than to the women's. The men's sport than to the women's sport. It's really mind blowing. And then even in the men's sports, they still don't give enough fundings to harness this talent, and it's really quite disturbing, because at the end of the day, when there's a lot of support given to these guys, they will go and win the prize money and still bring it back to the country.
Happiness, my problem with these people is, why will you give us information that camp opened 3 days ago, and they are supposed to do a friendly with Togo and Kenya on Saturday and Sunday? This Afro basketball is supposed to start on 25th.
Exactly.
And they are supposed to be en route after Sunday's friendly with Kenya. Now, the information we are getting this morning is that they don't have money. I wonder what these guys will do. You see these ladies, most of them came back from America, most of them came back from Europe just for this particular tournament, and you are telling them no money. In fact, the stunning news was that they were sent, their air tickets were sent individually. Are they going to travel to Ivory Coast individually, or are they going to travel as a team? And when they don't perform well, you start blaming them.
Exactly.
No wonder our under 19, what they did in Czech Republic, how they left. After winning China, I heard most of their incentives, most of their allowances were not paid, and they have to lose to Canada, you know, in their second game, and then got messed up in their last game, and they got trashed. So I think, you know, each time I say Nigerians are jokers, they're not serious about sports. You know, our talent, they are just helping themselves, just projecting themselves. You know, that's what I think about Nigeria sports.
Yes, you're actually correct, because there's no much funding when it comes to sports. They usually give a very low allocation when it comes to sport, and it's really not something that we should all smile about, because harnessing these talents will help them actually improve, want them to put in their best and bring in the prize money as well. So when these things are being withheld from the sports team, they seemingly get discouraged, and it affects their performance as well. So I just feel like the country needs to do better when it comes to that.
Anyways, away from the ITTF and basketball saga, I just brought up this basketball issue because when we talked about the ITTF, these guys, they will win now, and then when it's time to go to Rwanda, people will tell them there is no money to go to, like what they are telling these the basketball ladies. Now let's talk about the ICC, the Confederation Athletics Championship that is taking place in Abeokuta, where our people are also doing so well in the 100 meters hurdles, 100 meters race. It was a golden evening yesterday, having our people in the under 18 women's 100 meters final winning gold for us. You know, it's happening in Abeokuta, so I think it's our pride. You know, yesterday I was talking about Morocco and Burkina Faso winning gold. Where are our people? Our people came third and fourth, so nothing for us. But yesterday evening, they made us proud, winning gold, winning silver in the men and female categories. You know, I think these guys are doing very well when it comes to athletics, track and field. You know, and happening in Abeokuta is also another boost. You know, when they bring competitions to your town, you have this encouragement. You see your people that speak the same language, that have the same complexion with you, behave the way you behave, and you want to prove that you are the king or queen amongst them. So I think athletics is actually something else. Anyways, I think we'll take a breather, and when we come back, we'll dwell more on the athletics and other sports news. Right, you're welcome back to the shows. Aneke Sports, reaching you live from Aneke TV here from Coast City. We are talking about the Confederation Athletics Championship that is taking place in Abeokuta, where our men and women, they've done us proud, sweeping the podium in the 100 meters. We have in the under 18 women's 100 meters final, Ezechukwu Miracle led a clean sweep for Nigeria, clocking 11.88 seconds to take the gold. She was closely followed by Nwoko Rosemary, who finished in the 11.96 seconds for silver, while Jegede Miriam claimed the bronze with a time of 12.20 seconds. So for the first three, we have Nigerians. We dominated that podium, you know, winning gold, winning silver, and winning bronze. For 100, let them give it to us.
I think they heard you yesterday when you
Yes,
them.
yes.
So I think they wanted to prove you wrong and say, Gideon, this time around we're coming to win. And they didn't just come to win just one medal, they came to take everything, and that's a good one to applaud for.
All right, the 100 meters under 20 women's final also continued with the dominance of a Nigerian, talking about Aneke Chioma that sprinted to gold in 11.66 a second. Her compatriot Oyibo Success Ogene clinched silver in 11.78 seconds, while Yonam of Ivory Coast took bronze in 11.87 seconds, denying Nigeria another podium sweep. Anyways, we gave it to her, the Ivory Coast lady. Just take the bronze. But I'm happy that for the first and the second position that we won the gold and the silver. So very big congratulations to Oyibo Success Ogene and our own Aneke Chioma. Nigeria also picked up a bronze medal in the men's under 200 meters, adding to his growing medal tally in sprint events. The impressive performance highlights Nigeria's strength in sprinting across the youth categories as athletes continue to shine on the regional stage. So I think as the competition continues, that we'll be gathering some gold, some medals to ourselves. Remember, this is just to prepare us for the World Athletics Championship that will commence later next year. So it's actually a preparation, and my happiness is the teenage, like under 18 and under 20. You know, that means there's going to be a succession. There's going to be a succession in athletics for Nigeria. So for Aneke Chioma and Success Ogene, these are people that we are looking up to help us build, you know, young games for Nigeria, most especially in athletics. And every day we will talk about why some athletics in Enugu, they train here and we don't hear them at the national stage. We don't hear them at the African stage. We also don't hear them at the world stage. It shows that the state is not doing anything. You know, when we are talking about the nation, even though we are domiciled in Enugu, so we have to be patriotic, we have to talk about our town. You know, we have to talk about where we are broadcasting from. What are they doing to make sure we have names from Enugu, you know, being, you know, announced, being heard at the national level, at the continental level, also at the international level. Just concluded National Sports Festival. You can imagine out of 36 sports, Enugu got just 3 medals. And not good medals, bronze, 3 bronze. And when they said how much did they spend, you know, in fact, the former director of sports, Boniface Sonovo, one of the interviews said 1 billion naira was, you know, was earmarked for that competition. I was wondering, you earmarked 1 billion naira and you got 3 bronze? That was a loss. That was a loss. It wasn't a good investment. It wasn't a good investment at all. So I think Nigeria should try and do something, you know, to look at least not only Nigeria, Enugu should do something to bring our athletes up to the national level.
And I think that they focus more on certain kind of sports
Yeah.
to others. I think that's one of the reasons why these other sports aren't really giving much recognition, right?
Yeah.
So they focus more on football and then basketball. Just a little bit about basketball. Like the table tennis we talked about, nobody really even knew about
No, the tennis tournament, yeah.
that is happening right now in Lagos. And Lagos is one state that promotes these things.
Yeah.
And then I really encourage them, Enugu, you know, and there are a lot of talents on the streets.
Yeah.
You understand? There are a lot of talents on the streets who are very good in other sports. And
Yeah.
if these talents are encouraged
Yeah.
and they are harnessed,
Yeah.
they become better, and then they bring in, you know, a lot of prizes for us and help our sports sector as well.
Anyways, from there, let's leave Enugu in their sports promotion and look at club news. We'll start with MPFL club side. Kano Pillars, they made the league proud yesterday as they signed a contract, 100 million naira contract. Some people said some people are signing $20 million contract. and this guy signed 100 million naira. It's naira, not dollars. 100 million naira contract with Radio France Hausa. And that's another thing. So people are bringing ethnicity and tribalism to that. Why will it be Radio France Hausa? Because Canopilla is an Hausa, is a northern thing.
Yeah.
So now they signed a 100 million contract. 45 million in cash and others in media equipment and training.
Okay.
They will also sponsor the jersey. I think it's a good one.
I think it's a good one. It's better. They say half bread is better than none, right?
Yeah, sure.
And then little by little, they'll also gain other sponsorship as well, right? So the 100 million is really applaudable. It's not. It's not a small money, even though it's in naira. It's not a small money. If you give, dash 100 million right now, Gideon, what are you going to do with it? It's a whole lot. You can do a whole lot with 100 million, right? So I think it's really a good boost for them, being that the sports industry doesn't really have much funding. So if they sign a 100 million naira deal with RFI, I think it's actually a good one. It should be applaudable as well.
Now, the interesting part of the sign-on is now helping Canopillars to be on the social media.
True.
You know, they said they will help them in posting most of their games, in making sure that these guys have a very sound presence. Unfortunately, in Nigeria Professional Football League, we've not seen most of our teams, you know, accessing social media to put their presence there.
That's
so
right.
with Radio France International, it's an international radio broadcasting corporation. Now they'll be using their website, you know, to promote Canopillars, which is also going to give them money.
True.
So apart from the 100 million they are bringing to the table, the social media, the visibility will also give Canopillars. It's going to help their players too, because foreign teams will also see Canopillars. Yes,
exactly.
them. Yeah. And the team will also be just there at international level. I think Ahmed Musa, who happens to be the new general manager, is bringing a lot of experience and contact to Canopillars. That's why they say, follow Uno. If you want to give somebody general manager of the club, please look at professionals. Sure. The Rangers did having Amobiazako as their general manager. We've seen how they've turned the functions of the club. Their jerseys are everywhere. They now have sponsors everywhere. Afri Invest is their new sponsor, and you can see how the team is thriving. Rangers is flourishing because we have a very sound experience as general manager. Now, Ahmed Musa is also bringing that experience to Canopillars. Just 2 months stint as general manager, these people have come to give them a 100 million naira deal. I think it's actually a very good one.
Yes, it's actually a very good one, like you said. And then Ahmed Musa being one of our top guys in the Super Eagles team, and then bringing his experience as well into the Canopillars, it's really a great one because he's going to train them and then bringing in visibility to the team. This is actually something we should applaud for. I don't know why Nigerians can be very funny at times, because 100 million is not a small money. So then him bringing RFI, it means that sooner or later other investors will come into the game as well, and they want to invest into these young boys and youngsters. So it's something that is a start to something great, and people should actually see it as that.
Anyways, and another thing is that there's this argument, but I think it's not really important. But we have to look at it. The content of whatever they will be producing on the social media. This is Radio France Hausa. I hope it will not be in Hausa. No. I hope the content, the language of the content will not be in Hausa.
I don't think it's going to be like that. You know that most like you said, most Nigerian Football League matches, it's mostly watched, or if you go to the stadium, if they are playing the match, how many persons actually go to watch these matches? It's very few. Most times the stadium don't get filled up. The reason, one of the reasons why the Enyimba versus Enugu stadium was filled up was because it was a very important match.
Yeah, the banter was so much.
Exactly.
Online banter was so.
And because of that online presence, it's what made people to come out to see what is going to happen on that day. So it was really a fierce match, and then thankfully Enugu Rangers won. So this media publicity is a way to like make people come into the stadium, because one way or the other, because because I don't think we actually monetize our our stuff, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things for the media publicity to make presence to Kamikilas and also to NFL as a whole.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that Kamikilas is playing
Yeah.
Enugu Rangers, for
Yes,
example,
yes.
that they won't be publicized as
Yeah,
well.
it
So
will.
it's bringing publicity to the NFL as a whole.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing in the whole run.
Okay. Now, so finally, let's look at transfer deals. Arsenal made a historic one. This one is for the females. You know, every time they say, they sign 100 million euros. This time around, Arsenal signed Canada forward Olivia Smith from Liverpool in a deal worth a reported women's world record fee of €1 million. If we convert it to dollars, $1.3 million on Thursday. So everywhere in the world, the sign-on of women is lower because this is a historic sign-on, and it's just $1.3 million for the male board. Now, if it is for the male category, you'll be saying like 59 million euros. You'll be saying like 100 million euros. But this time, it's just 1.3 million. So for this, Smith, she has made history. She has made history being the biggest signing so far this year, going to Arsenal ladies team from Liverpool team. We're actually looking forward. This is a journey started.
Yeah.
Maybe henceforth we will not be seeing less than $1.3 million US signing for the ladies.
Yes, that's true because women's sports as a whole don't really get much publicity, don't get much funding, much prize money, right?
Yeah.
So even with the WAFCON, they just recently increased it from about 300 million.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said
no,
million, 300,000. I beg your pardon.
to 100 million.
to 1 million, right? So just imagine, well, if it was a male competition, right?
Yeah.
We'll be seeing something like 50 million, right?
Yeah.
100 million. In the just concluded Club World Cup, right?
Yeah.
It was 165 million grand prize.
Yeah.
But WAFCON, 1 million.
And what we are saying is dollars. So
Yes,
you have to be putting dollars, so
dollars.
that
They will know that it's not as much as we think it is, right? So, but they say little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So let's just see it as a step to something greater as well.
All right, this is where we're wrapping up on today's show, Aneke Sports, reaching you live from Aneke TV here in Co City. Until when we'll see you again. But many thanks to Happiness Ajibo, for the part. We are going to see the match today, Nigeria Zambia.
At the comfort of my house, because I'm really wanting to watch this match for a really, really long time. Because with what the coach of the Copper Queen Zambia has been really ranting. We're going to show you guys pepper. Okay, let's see the pepper. Let's see who is going to put the atarado in the eyes of.
So you need to be in your house. So when the pepper is entering your eye, you have water to wash.
I have water to wash and salt to lick as well.
All right, friends. This is how we'll end it up today on the show. Until when we see you again, have a very pleasant weekend. My name is Gideon Bueke. Bye for now.